let's go with Drake. All right, we got to go into the whole Drake conversation. So
I'm a
obviously
Drake.
Hold on.
familiar with the original, or most of us. I'm sure Quentin isn't, but obviously most of us are familiar with the original Drake diss. And then once he responded to the whole teaming up against everybody thing, obviously, yay, he decided he wanted to join the fray. Also, I'm not a fan of that, but we could talk about that in a minute. But let me see if I can get the audio up of the latest diss, the back-to-back diss from my dog, who I consider is the GOAT, Drizzy Drake. See if I can get it up here playing. And then he goes on to talk some more shit or whatever like that. So, anyways, original thoughts. I'm gonna bring my dog Slimmy in this real quick. Hold on.
So that was Pac, Snoop, and then Drake.
So Drake wrote
Right.
the whole record, and then he used AI to change his voice for Pac and Snoop.
Oh,
And he was speaking from the perspective of coaching Kendrick into dissing Drake and taking the reins in order to be able to pull him out of his, out of his slumber, since he the one that started the beef, but he ain't actually responding. So that's the whole sentiment of it. Is that he was, what I'm saying, speaking from the West Coast legends in order to try to, what I'm saying, coax Kendrick into actually getting into it and firing back. So it was another pot shot, in my opinion. It wasn't a, what I'm saying, a full diss record. He just basically saying, listen, everybody waiting on you, big dog. It's your turn. You up? What you gonna do?
nothing. I'ma chill.
First off,
Nigga, silence.
first
Nigga,
off,
bad boys roll in silence.
How is Drake calling out anybody to come on when he took 3 weeks to
Well,
respond
he was on
himself?
tour. He was on tour. As soon as he got off tour, he dropped the response. What up, son?
No, 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 no,
What's up,
no.
dog? What's going on? What's the
No,
word?
Drake is known for having studios on his tours.
As soon as he got off tour, he responded.
Drake said, "I'm busy. I'll
Not,
get to y'all niggas when I get done."
not to mention, first person shooter was
It's an
really the first.
excuse. It's an
That,
excuse.
that was the initial blow, first person shooter. So it took Kendrick 6 months to respond. Technically,
God,
technically,
that's
I mean,
crazy.
yeah, it's
Well, that's
embarrassing.
because
And
Kendrick gotta write his own raps.
you also gotta take into consideration the context, right? So they say that Drake got ghostwriters, so he ghost wrote for ghosts. That's no longer one of the ghosts wasn't even no longer here, and or it's almost like a play on the whole cadence of them calling him a ghostwriter or calling saying that he got ghostwriters, so he wrote for other people in order to try to draw Kendrick out. Man, listen, Drake is
Yeah, it's
winning.
genius.
He a genius. He Thanos, and the fact that you got people like, I'm not even gonna play Kanye's verse. The fact that you got all of these motherfuckers trying to team up to take him down actually speaks greater to his legacy, and the fact that he's still dealing with him and taking them all on, and he ain't even dodging no smoke. He said, "I'm gonna deal with all of y'all." Like I said, I think that Drake is the GOAT, and you've never seen this happen ever in the history of rap, as far as everybody teaming up to try to take one person down. And him still firing back, saying, "What the fuck is up? I take all of y'all on at the same time." So
Anton, but
I have
what
nothing
makes
to
you the
say.
GOAT?
Well, the fact that okay, well, this is an entirely different conversation, but we can go there. Perfect. I like this. So,
Thought you
Uh,
never asked.
this is where we're gonna
so,
disagree.
so number one, he's controlled rap for well over 14, 15 years. Nobody in the history of rap has ever had this type of run. Nobody. Nobody. Not one person in the history of rap has ever controlled been at the top of the game for the entire time that they've been on it. And ducking no smoke. And knowing that everybody hating. I mean,
Mm.
that in itself, in my opinion, constitutes and warrants GOAT status. And you've never
So
seen an
go
entire
ahead.
segment of people, R&B singers and rappers. This nigga got the weekend. Kanye, Future, beat makers, singers, rappers, hip hoppers, all of them is teaming up at the same time trying to take this nigga down. He just did 87 sold out shows straight.
Yeah, that's fine.
87 sold out shows straight. No missing. Not one miss. The motherfucker, like we can go on, but in my opinion, like he's literally a living goat. I don't know how y'all saying that he's not the GOAT.
No, not for me. Like,
I mean,
because too many reference tracks.
go ahead.
Nobody
Go
knocks Kanye
ahead.
for reference tracks. Nobody knocks Michael Jackson for reference tracks. Like, what makes him? You know what?
In rap,
Go ahead, Slimmy.
in rap is different. I get it. Michael Jackson and R&B. It's more so about your actual voice, skill set, in your voice, and so necessarily having writers in R&B. I don't see a big deal with that. But in rap, it's more of a competitive sport. Even when you get into the fact of sales, everything in that aspect is competition.
Nope.
Rap isn't like so your
Only one
penmanship.
portion of it is competitive sports, Slimmy. That's a factor.
No,
That's not the entirety of it. Nobody listen. When we say, we talked about it the other day. I said, "Life After Death" is my greatest album of all time, right? But "Life After
right.
Death" is, even though it's Big's album, right? That's a conglomerate of people, producers, all of that stuff. Because it's not just a writer. If it's not for the producers, if it's not for the beat makers, if it's not for the people the A&Rs, the people that sample it, that says, "No, take this out, take it." I heard Quincy Jones said that Michael Jackson wanted to take out one of the greatest riffs of all time on a Thriller album, and he forced him to put that shit back in, which made the album, right? In that conversation, I seen people say, "No, no, no. The greatest album of all time is My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy."
Oh yeah, I saw that. I saw some people saying
Okay,
that.
so wait a minute. How is My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy in the conversation of the greatest album of all time when every fucking song got like 50 writers on it?
Yeah, I don't.
Nobody knocks that shit. People
I
want
don't.
great music. They said, "Listen, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy is the greatest album of all time." Every song on that bitch got like 50 people on it, 50 writers.
Yeah.
So why do we move the goalposts and change it for people that we like or we don't like?
No, I didn't move the goalpost. But I also feel like Drake don't have any classic albums though either. He don't have classic albums. It's too many songs on each of those albums that are duds.
I can't
They
believe
just
you just said that.
no. He got some really bad records on those albums. It's just like the beats aren't that great. Like some of the hooks aren't there. Yeah, man. Like Drake don't have no classic albums. He got some
Hey,
great. He has like 2 great albums,
His
but I
last
don't.
two albums didn't even sell.
You say what?
oh yes, they did.
What
Oh
you say,
yes,
Mika?
they did. Mika? Where you been at? Come on, y'all. Listen.
Behind the scenes, compared to his previous ones like Take Care and Scorpion.
Oh my god. And Scorpion was definitely a phenomenal album. But I don't know.
So
I don't know what y'all seeing. Maybe I'm off. But like I said, I am
because
always,
you gotta
and I
look at the
think he got the greatest
units
mixtape.
and pure sales.
And I think he got the greatest mixtape of all time.
Now that there's credence to that. With you talking about the one that start off with Legend?
No, Room for
If you read,
Improvement one.
if you
Then
read, hey,
no, not even If You're Reading This Is Too Late, and that's a fucking classic in my opinion too. Because when it first came out,
no, that
people tried to play that shit. That shit hit from the
no,
beginning
that shit
all the
play.
way to the end. That shit hit. It was no misses
No,
on that.
it's no. It is 2 misses on there. That Madonna song.
No,
Is
it's
horrible.
not.
It is horrible, Anton. That
No, it
thing
is
is
not, Slimmy. Are you crazy?
You like that beat?
Man, I like the whole album from front to back. I could play that whole shit.
I'm gonna skip that song though, and it's another song on there I'm gonna skip. It's 2 songs on there I'm gonna skip. I do not want to hear them at all. I could go my whole life without hearing those 2 records again, and I'll be perfectly fine. That I don't. I think that is a great album. It's 2 misses on there though, like that keep it from being a classic because they are completely
Are
and
you crazy,
utterly
Slimmy? It's
horribly,
albums, it's
horribly.
albums, it's albums that have songs that I can go without hearing, but it doesn't make it any less of a classic. Thug Motivation 101 is one of my favorite albums of all time, but it's definitely records on there that I can go without hearing. Don't mean that they're not good records, but I could definitely go without hearing them.
No, I mean they're bad
The
records
album
though.
has no
Those,
skips.
No,
those
Madonna is no fucking no way. Slimmy?
that shit is horrible.
Oh my
That
god.
shit is horrible. Horrible. That is not a good song.
Jesus Christ, Slimmy.
That's not a
Slimmy, you
good
listening
But
song.
to
what makes Drake the GOAT is his album sales, you said, and what else?
No, it's not his album sales. It's the fact that he's controlled rap for the last decade and a half. That's number one.
Can't argue. I can't argue with that.
No,
Can't argue with
And
number two, he ducking no smoke when it comes to all of these people teaming up against him in an unprecedented rap battle, which you've never seen an entire industry team up against one person. That's number two, and he taking on all of them at the same time. Number three, I think that his discography is immaculate. We put people in the GOAT conversation that only got 2 fucking albums.
it. No, I
People,
don't.
no, listen, think about this shit. We
I go.
move the goalposts when it's convenient. Pac has some trash ass albums.
You gonna do I do it.
I'm
Pop
gonna
not a
go
goat
ahead
for
and
me.
log off after that.
No. Let's keep it 100. Pac
Yeah,
has
no.
trash ass albums and nobody kills him for that shit. Strictly for My Niggas was garbage. That whole fucking thing is a frisbee. That's a weed plate. Strictly and Pac is one of my favorite of all time. But that shit is a weed plate, bro. Strictly for
Yeah,
My
that's
Niggas is a weed plate.
it's not a great album.
No, it's a
It's not
bad album.
no, wait a minute. There ain't no songs on there worse than Madonna. Come on now. That Madonna
A
song is
bad
horrible.
album, bro. It's a bad album. It's a sophomore album, and that's the shit that's supposed to dictate whether or not you really solidified in the game. That shit is a weed plate, bro. Come on, man.
I give you
Nobody
that.
kills him for that shit. That's the
I don't
same
think
shit they do with Jordan. They don't count the losses unless it's somebody that they don't like.
yeah, I don't consider Pac a GOAT. I think he's an icon. Just like
No,
Biggie. There
but everybody is no, Slimmy. In a general sense, the general community considers Pac a GOAT. One of the greatest of all time. That's a fact, bro.
I feel like he's too conflicted to be one though, man. Like he didn't stand on
But it ain't
he didn't
the community think it, but they pick
yeah.
and choose the shit that they take out criteria and they add shit depending on what's convenient for the conversation at that time. Nope.
Yeah. Pac was just way too conflicted and like so he's all over the place with the records. Just because he was a human, he was a human being and he put everything into those records. So for one instance, he gonna be cussing somebody out, talking about bitches and hoes, and then the next moment, he making those songs like Dear Mama, and what's the other one? He was like, I can't think of the one. Dang, I can't think of the one record, man, where he was praising women. He just
Changes.
I
Keep
don't
your
know if
head
it was.
up.
That's just the way it is.
You talking about when he was hanging with Digital Underground? Still
No,
saying
no, no, no. That's
Underground?
later on. He had Dear Mama, and then he had another record where it was like a tribute to black women almost.
It's
I
keep
can't
your
think
head
of the name.
up.
Yeah,
No,
keep your
It's
head up.
keep your
Yeah,
head up.
yeah,
yeah, keep your
but
head up.
my point is that he got some duds that he didn't put out, and motherfuckers still just don't. They act like it don't even exist.
Yeah, no, I agree. But the thing is, so do Drake. So do
No,
Drake.
he
And
doesn't, bro. There is no
yeah,
album that I can listen to when I say that that shit is a weed plate. Nothing.
see, Drake got a lot of songs, whereas he got those hits and he got those anthems. And then when you start going through the discography level of I guess you could say the height of those records, they don't match up. You
Yeah,
know what I'm
because
saying?
he's
Like
making them
you
for different people at different times of his life. So if you like, for example, right? If you listen to the joint, I forgot what the name of it was, but it was more. He called it a playlist. What
yeah, more life.
more life? It's a different type of vibe. It's not speaking to the rap crowd, right? It's speaking to people
Right.
that want to kind of chill with their chick, or maybe they want to go out in ballroom, or you know what I'm saying. It kind of remind me of how R. Kelly went from TB 2000 or TP2 whatever the fuck that shit was .com to the Chocolate Factory, right? And then he went over from the Chocolate Factory to something completely different. Like it's a completely different vibe. But
But it was still
I
R&B.
I respect the fact that Drake likes to experiment and tap into different shit. That's another thing that make him the GOAT. Is the fact that he not afraid to tap into different shit and his potential. And it's not just gonna stay in one space just because that's where people want to box him in at. He tried different stuff. And matter of fact, a lot of the shit that people like now, they killed that shit when it first came out. And then they started liking it later. Because if you reading this is too late, motherfuckers was acting like that wasn't hitting. But them
No,
songs,
I was. It was. That was hidden from the start.
they
But
acted
like I
like
said,
it wasn't though. They acted like it wasn't.
well, I don't know, man, where I was at, motherfuckers was going crazy over that shit. They loved that shit.
Yeah.
Like that shit was on play. Like everybody, every time you passed the car, they was playing that shit, bro. Like Legend, they
Who
never
who
stopped.
who who above Drake in history? Who's above Drake?
Above him as far as consistency and albums.
No, just the GOAT. Just all inclusive. Whatever, everything. Who above him? Who better than him?
Nicki.
Oh Lord, I'm about to sign off.
Oh, we about to go now. We about to go now.
I'm
We
gonna
about to
say,
go now.
I
We about
think
to
the
go
goat
now.
is mystical.
Oh man, what? I ain't said anything right now, man.
no
Mystical.
one's no one's messing with the No Limit Soldiers. Nobody.
Oh my Lord. Wait, man.
You play too
Oh no.
much.
I'm just playing.
No, I know you fucking
Ghetto,
around. But
Ghetto D, stand up.
the thing about
Okay,
Nicki
but
Minaj,
that's why I asked. No, but this is why I asked Anton what was the criteria, right?
yeah, you
Because the
about to
criteria
make
that he gave, Nicki has the same stats.
Mika, I can't believe you right now.
Oh my gosh. I can't.
Mika, I
Yeah,
can't believe you right now.
no, Mika.
I mean, no. I asked the stats. I asked what he considered the criteria.
Mika, I'm
Okay,
I
disappointed.
don't care what y'all saying in the chat.
Mika, I'm
okay, so let me
disappointed.
ask you this. What album of Nicki
What
Minaj's
happened?
what album of Nicki Minaj's do you think hits with men and women? Like men and women. Because
Okay, so Pink Friday has men and women on it. It has Eminem on one of the biggest songs that she had.
no,
It was
no, I
called
don't mean I
Roman
don't mean
Revenge.
no, I don't mean guest spots. I mean with the masses. Like that men and women can really like vibe to it. I think Nicki Minaj really boxed herself in. She only make a lot of that stuff for women.
No, it. I think Nicki Minaj does the features and things for the men. But let's be clear. When it comes to selling records, women buy it anyway more than men. Y'all can like Drake all y'all want. Y'all still don't buy Drake more than women.
No, you're absolutely right. But what that and that's my point. So what album does she have that a man can relate to, and he gonna put it in and he gonna rock with it. That's what's gonna keep her from being the GOAT, because men can't resonate with her message 9 times out of 10. So she gonna be left out the conversation. Because
if men could resonate with her message, they wouldn't have put her on all those songs. She was on Monster. She killed all the men on that song.
Nope.
Let's be clear.
No, she that. See, that was a hype.
Please. Oh my gosh.
Mika, that was a hyped up verse. It was dope for Nicki Minaj to be on a record with Kanye, but it wasn't dope in the aspect of like we putting heavyweights on a record and she really like going like it was cool. It was dope. Like that's the moment in rhyme.
Missy Elliott will take them all out.
Listen. I am a fan of Missy Elliott. I am gonna go.
But we're talking about stats, and Nicki Minaj
She's nowhere
literally has more number one. She has more number one hits than Drake. You can look it up.
No, she don't.
She has more digital hits than Drake. And then we're talking about concerts. She's already had 28 sold out concerts.
Drake just did 87 shows, all sold out.
I think she meant in tours. You mean 28 tours?
He's been on tour longer. He's been on tour longer.
So what, you gonna penalize him for having been on tour longer?
No.
I'm just saying he's been on tour longer.
He came to Oklahoma. He showed out 2 shows on Friday and Saturday so fast they had to put a third
Drake is the number one, the rapper with the most number one hits in history.
Hold on, look. You know I'm struggle streaming.
Billboard, Nicki Minaj breaks tie with
No, but see, it's a difference between digital hits. Drake has the most number one hits in history.
Come on.